Welcome back to yet another video that nobody asked for. This time, my impulsive design idea is to take this toaster oven and turn it into a smoker. The idea is to make this enclosure to fit underneath the toaster for the heating elements and chip tray, then use the rest of the toaster for the rack and drip pan. Why am I doing this for the toaster? Well, I had it on hand and it's the perfect size to fit trout, and that's what I'm planning on smoking. This is actually the first time I've done any sheet metal work, but it turned out to be pretty easy. All you really need to do is get your measurements all correct, lay them out by using a screwdriver to scratch the surface on the sheet metal, cut it out with some tin snips, and then use a bench vise or some pliers to bend it. It seemed to work pretty well. I did a couple of my measurements wrong, as you'll see, but we were able to make it work. Well, I screwed up just a little bit. I gave it an extra ½ inch just to make sure I could get these in. And I forgot you can just fold it up and it'll be right in place. So we'll go ahead and cut a bunch of it off. And in case you're wondering what the heck surface I'm doing all this on, I'm a college student. Yes, I'm doing a bunch of metal work on my bed, because that's what we do. Oh yeah, there we go, that's much better. After a montage like that, I hear you asking some really good questions, such as, what is that part? Well, yeah, no, I know that's not what you're asking. You're asking why I was using a Dremel to drill a hole, but that's because I don't have a drill. Anyways, no more stupid questions. This part, I haven't decided where I'm going to slap it yet, somewhere on the bottom here. This controls our airflow. And this is what that looks like fully assembled. It almost looks professional if it weren't asymmetric. Anyways, now we cut out the chip tray. So the plan to hold this in here, I might need to shave down the sides a little so it can sit a little bit closer down to the elements. I only want about a 1/2 inch of separation in here. And I do want to make sure that it clears the air gap. But I'm thinking I'll use these rods and let this sit on top of them. And then I'll fabricate a handle on here so you can pick up the tray and pull it out pretty easily, because I don't want to try to find a way to access this through the bottom. I want to have access through the top. Yeah, so it'll be something like that. So if you need to clean this out or throw the chips in, it'll be super easy. Then to clean it out, you can just pull it straight out. Well, of course it hits that. Oh well. Alright, let's see if I did my measurements correctly. Not quite. There we go. Much better. As you can probably tell, not going to be able to bend these while they're in there, so I'm not going to be able to bend them before I put them in there. So I'll just cut a notch about a 1/2 inch from the end and then bend up from the notch. Well, not my finest work, but that works. Now, I'm gonna make some handles. Well, that method didn't work too well. I broke the piece in half, and this is all I got left of this material, so I'm gonna try something different. Alright, well this is kind of what I was envisioning. I don't know how it twisted, but we've got our little handle here. And now, assuming that these don't break, which I'm really hoping they won't, I just need to twist these and then screw them onto here. Yeah, there we go. That's what I was envisioning. It ain't perfect, but it'll work. Alright, got it screwed in because these montages are getting ridiculous. Now the next couple things we need to worry about. I do need to do the electronics. I think first I need to find a way to route the wires down into the bottom. I also should probably close up these vents in case it gets warm under there. This should have enough ventilation out the back, and the panel will have some as well. Then I need to close up these holes and the same ones on the other side. Nobody ever needs to see this. It doesn't need to be pretty, as long as I can run the wires. This toaster was originally designed to have two different circuits for the different elements, so you could have them turned, one of them on and one of them off, or both of them on. And I should probably hook these both up together. Well, thought I'd film this bit because the first time I tried it, set off some sparks, and I haven't been able to figure out why. We have 120 volts. I think I measured that wrong. We have 0 volts. So either I wired something incorrectly or I blew something up. Oh yeah, 0 volts. Well, I think I found our issue. Definitely arced out there. And best I can tell, this component no longer functions as intended. And I think the reason is, I assumed the white wire was a ground wire and that the blue wires were hot, but I'm starting to think one of the blues was hot and the white was also hot. It was at about this point that I realized that I didn't even need to use any of the wiring. I could just hook it all straight up to the thermostat. Would have been a lot easier if I just did that to begin with, but better late than never, I guess. I think it's... Oh, I hear the elements on. It's working.
I smell it.
Yeah, me too. The ceremonial zip tie. Yeah. Look at that. It looks so fancy. Alright, so now that I know that it works, I want to build a housing down here to hide the wires and keep some of the heat and just to hold it up. And we also need to make a chimney. That will be coming from a soup can to be professional. And we'll go ahead and put a valve in it and a rain cover over it. Cue the, what, 6th montage of the video. So in cutting out this hole, I realized that we have a bit of an angle here and a lip. It's also really hard to get that cut just right. So what I'm going to do is make a bunch of relief cuts going the opposite direction, right? And then that way we can just fold the metal up and get it to go around and seal against this lip here. Well, it's time for some audience participation. Dora, as a kid, taught me how much everybody loves that. Look in there for me. Does it look like a half-decent seal? I actually don't know yet. Let's see. I've determined it to be good enough. So, next thing is to get the cheapest thermometer I could find on Amazon and get that put in there. Last montage, I promise. Mounted very professionally, you know, to match the rest of the video. I think that is just about good. It's about ready to test. There you go. Awesome. Yeah. Well, it's the next day I'm cleaning up. Thought I'd give you 2 quick notes. Number 1, if you use a little bit of the ash to scrub off the smoke residue, it works really well. Number 2, this tray is not quite deep enough to hold enough water, so I'm gonna go ahead and bang it out a little bit, give it some more shape. But beyond that, it worked really well. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more obtuse projects like this, please subscribe. I have some cool and janky projects planned for the future, and I'd also be interested to try out any that you might have, so make sure to drop them in the comments. Until then, remember, garbage on garbage makes it tower to heaven.